I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are here with what I think is the season finale of Spy Family. If it is, pretty sad. I believe we were told that there's a season 2 confirmed as well as a movie. But I'm sad, honestly. I love Spy Family, and even though that it was like it went on break halfway through the season, the break was like just the right amount of time.
Definitely.
And I'm scared at how long we're going to have to wait for the next Spy Family content.
Agreed. I think we were saying that we wish that a lot of shows would just do that, the amount of time they break between part 1 and part 2. But that was us not thinking about how much time we'd then have to wait for season 2.
My whole thing is, I think Spy Family, I'm sure there have to have been many other anime to have done it previously, but my real appreciation with Spy Family is like the format of taking that break, because I think it lended itself to the animation and the quality of it, and it's always looked amazing, you know?
It's always been top-notch. It's always been cohesive. And
consistent, great.
As we talk about how great and consistent and awesome it's been and all of that, it just definitely sets a mood of being bittersweet sadness to this possibly, I think, being the last episode that we're about to watch for this season.
I'm probably going to be happy watching it, because last episode is one of the best episodes of the season, series, right?
We got so much of Becky. I mean, obviously, the Lloyd and Yor was like the bigger part of the episode, and that was great.
It was hard to edit. Like, there were so many good parts of that episode.
And I wanted to keep all of Becky in, obviously.
Yeah, how could you get rid of any Becky?
I mean, really, how could you get rid of any of the outfit choices for Anya? I mean, that whole sequence of all the different outfits. So cute.
So question, are we going to finish off here with the dorm party that was alluded to from Becky? Or do you think it's going to be something else?
I think that would be a good way to end it off, right? Because there's the possibility that parents will be there.
Yeah.
Because Becky did say she needed to pick out an outfit for if Lloyd is there. So this really could be a good season finale to lead into season 2, and Becky did kind of put it out there in the universe last episode.
I wonder how they're gonna like end a season of Spy Family. Every show like ends a season differently, so I'm very excited to see that.
Me too.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay, that was Spy Family, season 1, episode 25.
I feel sad. But, like, in a really bittersweet, kind of warm sad of that feeling of the show is like a home. You know, with that same feeling you get in the outro where they're all in these dark rooms and then there's a light and then they all open a door and they're into their home together. There's a comfortability to it. And the mood of the show, while some moments might feel tense or some moments are comedic, there's still a very comfortable element to it.
It's
cozy.
It reminds me of like eating breakfast and watching cartoons, you know? It reminds me, like, when I'm watching Spy Family, it's basically Anya watching Bondman on TV.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, that's probably on purpose.
I'm really glad that we got a lot of Yor last episode because of her lack of involvement here, but I think that that's probably the right choice. I mean, for episode 1 of this show is Anya and Lloyd, and the definition or the whole idea of what the mission is, you know, and
Operation Strix.
Yeah, and I think that this was a great way to cap off like a contained, self-contained story as one, like season 1. I wonder like how this ended in the manga, like if there was like right into the next episode, you know?
I mean, I honestly think that this is a great stopping point for a season.
Yeah.
With this whole interaction between First Contact was the name of the episode.
Yeah.
I think that's a great stopping point, especially because I believe the mission kind of takes on a new goal. There's a new goal in terms of like what to do to obtain kind of more contact with Desmond.
Yeah.
And that is to help the relationship between father and son. The stronger that relationship is, the more likely that Lloyd will get to be around Desmond more.
Yeah. What did you think of his like whole I guess, perspective on individuals and people and relationships with people. Like, it makes sense for who his character is and, like, what, like Lloyd said, like, how he's going about handling the war. But just, like, you'll never truly know somebody and completely understand them. Even your son, somebody with who shares the same
Yeah, like
blood,
he
is a
said that
complete
they're
stranger.
still stranger.
I think that it's interesting because on one hand, I can see, like, a legitimate point somewhere in there that's way less extreme or the point he's trying to make.
It's like, yeah, you're going too heavy with it. Like, on a surface level, it is probably, as we have a telepath in the show,
Yeah.
it's impossible to truly understand what someone's thinking unless you could literally read their mind.
Yeah, so I think that, two things. I think that he verbalizing his emotions and feelings that way just fits perfectly and goes to show how anxious of a person he is and his lack of trust in people. Mm-hmm. If he feels like everybody's a stranger, even his own blood, then it definitely checks out that he is somebody who doesn't leave his house because of how paranoid he is.
He's like set up kind of these boundaries around himself to make sure that no one really can get that close to him. Because he doesn't, he can't tell what they're truly thinking. Are they faking what they're doing? Are they just trying to get close to him? Obviously, we saw from the whole part of this episode was people trying to get Damien to introduce to the father. So obviously the father knows people are constantly always trying to get in front of him to have a conversation, be influenced, you know? And he's wary of people. He doesn't trust people. He doesn't know if they really want to be his friend, if it's an innocent conversation, or if he needs to be worried about them.
You know what I'm worried about? Either a possibility of him, Donovan, knowing something's up, or there being a huge other part of him we don't know because how the story intentionally excluded Anya from being there to read his mind and tell the audience what he was actually thinking, what he actually goes about.
I love that Anya didn't get to have first contact.
Me too. I adore it. But I wonder why, right? Like, I wonder what, like, it's not just a bit like, oh, I'm reading his mind, he's crazy anxious about everything, or like he's not just the character he's been described to us as.
Definitely
There's
not.
seemingly more layers that the show is waiting to show us, you know? Mm-hmm.
See, he's definitely strict. He's definitely a recluse. He is wary of others. He probably likes to be his own company. He finds solace in himself. But I'm just still so kind of shocked that even is directed toward his sons. It's like, I feel like what we got here was, it doesn't even matter if Damien gets Stella's. It doesn't even matter if he gets to go to this social gathering to have a better relationship with his father. Because what's his father going to say? Good job. And then leave. You know, there's not going to be more than that. You might get some validation from him, but you're not going to have like a bonded relationship.
Well, the look that really like concerned me was the anger look.
Breathing out, like, you know.
It's like, it's almost like obviously we've had no inkling of this, and this is like a severe comparison, but like kids who have been like physically reprimanded or at least verbally reprimanded to the point that it's left a mark, that some very small like facial
minute movement
can like stop you in your tracks and make you think about what you're gonna say, and you can understand how your father's feeling just by that, you know.
I mean, to this we obviously know that Damien is actually pretty scared of his father, and it can't just be because his father's amazing and hard to get to and all of that. There has to be some other. Why else would Damien be scared of a father he's never really around, unless there was some other like thing that made him feel like, I don't want to mess with this guy, other than I don't want my dad to hate me because I love him. It's definitely different than kind of Anya in a way.
Yeah. You know how he has oh god, what if that's why we didn't get Anya and Donovan? Because Anya remembers him experimenting on her. You know? Like, what if, like, the visual... I don't know if Anya's ever seen a picture of Donovan. You know what I mean?
Huh.
But you know how you notice how he has scars on his temples?
Uh-huh.
I was like, what if he could read minds too, and that's why he's so anxious? Like, if you could read everybody's mind, that'd be like horrifying. Like, there's a level of it's obviously fiction, but mentalism and reading body language that lets you perceive into what people's true intentions are in the form of whether they're telling a lie or
Which
not
is
in social
probably what Lloyd
interactions.
does.
Yeah, but there's a sort of loneliness that could come with that of knowing when somebody's lying to you, but if you point it out, then you're, kind of out like outing yourself. But I don't know. What do you think of the idea that like Donovan had something to do with Anya's past?
I don't hate the idea because of the fact that we're getting him as a character that's kind of what did the handler say? Something like this is the central point for the Cold War or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. And I could definitely see a character that seems to rid himself of personal relationships being okay experimenting on other people.
Yeah.
Um Especially if he is kind of the one you want to get in contact with to make sure you know if a war is going to happen. I'm kind of like I liked him for a little bit. Like I feel like that conversation led me on like this roller coaster of how I felt about him.
Yeah.
Because we get these little lines on his face that make him look like he's happy or he liked what was said. And I was like, oh, okay, he's warmed up to Lloyd. Like this is good. And then as soon as the thing with Damien happened, I was like, okay, I retreat. I retreat on me thinking that he's actually just a lonely recluse that isn't a bad guy. And now there's room for me to believe that he maybe actually is some type of villain.
Yeah. National Unity Party. I don't know. I am scared that there is something like that he knows. I don't want him to have a leg up on Lloyd. Like that's what I'm scared of, I think. Like us being behind. I want us to win. I want us to be happily ever after. And I want, you know what? I want Damien to be happy. I don't think I expected to care for Damien's well-being as much as I do. And we got to hear Demetrius too, his brother, on the phone.
Lloyd did a really good job here, I think, saying things that would make Damien feel like this is an adult that is safe.
Yeah.
And nice. And was saying things that I think resonated with Damien for his whole goal is to be able to stand beside his father. And, even if you can't understand someone, just try to stand beside them. And I think Damien's going to kind of take that to heart. Like, even if I can't understand if my father loves me or not or what he's thinking, I still want to be beside him because he's my father and I love him.
Yeah.
It's a personal choice. And so I think that was good for Damien. And then I think what Lloyd kind of left with was also a positive for Damien.
I don't know if it was a positive for Damien's buddies.
Oh, I know.
Like, they're like, you want to what?
You want to be friends with your stalker? Like,
yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I want to rewatch specifically that. Like,
what, that little bit?
That little interaction. Because he was like, it's I don't even remember what he said exactly. He was like, it's not. I would want that too. And I was like...
I'm trying to... Okay, yeah. It'd be around here.
Right.
Yeah. I humbly thank you for your time. Oh, like, and then he's walking away. Oh, right.
Could you keep the fact that I talked to you about Anya a secret? She can be quite the contrarian. I'm pretty sure she doesn't actually dislike you. It'd make me happy if you and her could be friends.
Well, I want to, too. And his friends are like, what?
Uh-huh. This is the betrayal.
Yeah.
Right here. We're shocked.
And then his face gets all red. I like that,
So cute.
While Lloyd is talking, we're shown point of view images from Damien looking at Anya, because you can see, like, the glow up, kinda.
Because, of course, he'd be thinking about her faces that she makes when Lloyd makes that comment of, she doesn't actually dislike you.
Yeah. I really, really loved Anya's moment with Damien. I know a little bit of it got, like, she kind of lost track of where she was going with it, but she was also very smart with how, she was saying what she was saying to, like, make sure Damien doesn't think that she's reading his mind, but also implanting.
She's still, right, she had to backtrack because she was like, okay, what I just said was too on the nose. He thinks I'm reading his mind. I need to backtrack and come up with something else, another way to say something. Obviously throwing herself under the bus by admitting that she's a stalker. But it still hits. It still does something for Damien and makes it so this whole first contact can actually happen.
Honestly, like, there are a lot of times that Anya tries to help but doesn't, tries to help but accidentally does, or tries to help and then Lloyd has to fix it. Mm-hmm. But Anya legitimately really helped here. And she had intention, I think, to in some way help the mission. And she went, like, she really did. The message that she gave to Damien about how she's scared if her dad loves her or not, and said that he gets mad at him, but I believe in him because I love him. I was like, oh my God, Damien, more than anybody, needs to hear that somebody else shares those insecurities and feelings.
Is it possible that she succeeded here because of the fact that it's not, she wasn't solely focused on this kind of big bad man mission, and she got, at the lockers, Damien reliving basically the phone call with his brother, and it's because she has a care for people, especially when she gets to see and hear their inner thoughts. And here she, I think, she's like, okay, it would help the mission if he gets to, talk to his dad. But I think she also just really wanted to make him feel better and not give up. Yeah. And that's why I think she succeeded, is because she was focused on something more personal and obtainable, which is trying to cheer up the person that's next to you that you know.
Yeah. It really, really worked out and was really effective. And don't get me wrong, Becky's amazing, but Damien's this character that I didn't think that I'd have such like a profound care and love for.
As soon as he was introduced, I was like,
yeah,
I know. Going to love this
You
character.
loved him from the beginning. But I don't know. I love this show, man. I'm gonna miss it a little bit, but I'm gonna be very, very excited for it to come back. I love this episode. Great episode.
This was a really great episode. So, what is in the news next after Spy Family? Season 1.
I think that there is a Spy Family Season 2 announcement coming out.
Okay.
And I have it on YouTube pulled up.
Okay.
But the title is literally Spy Family Season 2 plus movie, which is the best news ever.
We're probably not going to be, if it's a theater movie, we're probably not going to be watching it in theaters.
Probably not. I don't...
Would it be in the theaters?
Oh, I just...
Probably. At least in some select theaters, right?
Maybe in select theaters. That being said, I don't know how popular it is in the States. It's no Demon Slayer, I doubt, That being said, this is like 40 seconds, so I don't think this is going to be anything other than the announcement, but it's the best announcement. Cruise. 2023. So both are 2023.
I was really scared that we were gonna have to wait.
I wonder which animation studios are doing the movie. Yeah, same.
And we've obviously complimented Spy Family so much for the whole part 1 and part 2 of a season, and that between the part 1 and part 2 there wasn't like a horrible wait. Long time.
Yeah.
It felt good and okay, but I was so nervous that once this season was over, it'd be 2 years.
Yeah. Actually, like, I'm sure that other anime do it, but I think this might be the first time I've watched an anime that will do like a first half of a season, a little break in the second half, and it was amazing. In my opinion, I credit some of that to that break and splitting it up between studios to how high quality the editing, music, and animation has been. It's been so consistent and so amazing, like well above average,
As I watch more anime, especially newer shows, the more I am just enamored with and focus on and notice the music behind the opening and the outros, and just how like these are songs that I want to listen to in the car.
Dude, music is so important.
Honestly, it's just more and more lately, shows that are coming out, they're really getting these awesome songs.
Yeah, for
it's
intros
so
and
good.
outros.
Yeah.
Agreed. I also think like the music in this show is great. Like it really is. And I'm like they obviously lean towards the parody of like spy music a lot, but it's very nice and it's enjoyable. I love it. I love this show. I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited for the movie.
We don't have to wait too long. Okay, so what's your prediction of what season it's coming out in if it's 2023? Because there's the January season that obviously there's no way.
I wish I knew how they were handling like the production, because if this
is
was,
it gonna be part 1, part 2 again?
Yeah, like if they're splitting it up between the same animation studios, I would still think that there'd be a little break before getting right back to work on the next season. But 2023, man, let me guess, with it being in July, or maybe late June, I'm gonna guess it would start. And then maybe they take a break halfway through.
What did we get? We got like spring and then fall.
I think so.
Seasons for the part 1 and part 2.
Spring just feels way too soon, right?
It does. It does feel way too soon.
It'd make me very happy, but but it makes me nervous. Like if they told me that March 1st Spy Family season 2 was starting, I'd be like, awesome, but I hope the animation's good.
Especially with a movie involved in this scenario too. I'm like, that is a giant undertaking for it being literally. I mean, now
obviously you'd have like different key animators.
Already.
Yeah. You'd have like different key animators and storyboarders and directors for like a movie versus a series and like all that. But I don't know. I wonder how soon they were like, oh shit, Spy Family's like a social success. We need to all gas, no brakes, Spy Family. Like, think about how you and I were talking in the car the other day about Chainsaw Man. And I was like, I feel like they are going to wait 2 years or 3 years to release the next season. Probably 2 years. And the only reason I think that is, one, obviously it takes time to work on like a production of a show that's so good. But also, there's a lot of money in marketing. And if you wait
merch deals.
Animation studios, like the people who put out these TV series, more than anything, love money and love the success of them. And that comes with merchandise. And if you have time between seasons, then you're able to get into stores like Zoomies or like, like I don't know. I'm kind of surprised on one hand that it's happening so quick, but I'm so excited.
I could be totally wrong, but I do think that Spy Family is really high up in terms of like popularity manga-wise in Japan. I don't know how it does in the States. I just know it's very popular, I believe, at least manga-wise in Japan.
We don't talk to a lot of people in real life who watch...
We don't talk to a lot of people in real life.
Period. But, but like... in regards to Spy Family, it's been your parents have watched a couple episodes of the dub. We just saw my little cousin, and she's on like episode 18 of season 1. I told her my handler Anya theory, and she thought I was stupid. She was like, what'd she say? I'm not even gonna say anything, or something like that.
When she doesn't like what Ben says, she's like, I'm not even gonna comment.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm excited. I'm happy. The show makes me happy.
I am going to want to rewatch it just on my own time.
I want to hear the dub, just out of curiosity.
The dub is not bad. I've only watched, obviously I watched like 2 episodes of it with my parents, and then they've watched a few by themselves, and it wasn't bad.
I want like my mission in life to make like a curated Mal list of the best dubbed animes. The best dubs. Just as like a passion project, because it's so like, none of them, I don't think I've listened to a dub that's better than a sub, but I've listened to so many dubs that are like comedically bad that they deserve to be on a list.
And so when there is a dub that is actually like, you can stomach it, and you're like, huh, okay, yeah, I like what they did here.
Yeah.
Like I remember when we were watching Demon Slayer, and you had played for me the voice actor for the dub for Gyutaru.
Yes.
And I was
yes.
like, okay.
Yeah. So
this person
I didn't know where you were
deserves
going with
so
it
much credit.
because we watched season 1 of Demon Slayer in the dub on the channel.
season 2.
Season 2, yeah, we watched it obviously while it was live, and then we were like on the way to work one morning, and I pulled in, and
it was the episode just had dropped in dub for the Gyutaru entrance.
It was so good. Like I was like, holy shit! If you are a Demon Slayer fan and have not heard the dub of Gyutaru's voice,
you need to listen to it.
Yeah, like honestly,
does a really good job.
Yeah.
They definitely listened to how the Japanese voice actor did it.
And you don't need to do that. That's not most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say that's a bad idea,
Yeah.
and you should just put your own spin on it. But holy shit, it was good.
It was really good.
Yeah,
it stood alone. You know, it stood on its own as good.
I want to watch the dub of this and have an opinion.
Yeah.
Before next season, I will have an opinion on the dub of Spy Family. All right, you good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next season.